And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. People of God, what I just read now is Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. My name is Onyakachi. I teach Bible subject and title. But on today's title, the Sabbath. People of God, from what we read earlier on, he said the dead and everybody will judge according to their works. So, today, as we are going into the lesson, we are now going to go into according to what is written. Because he said everybody will be judged according to what is written in the book. So that means if you can't find it in the book, I mean it's something you don't need to do. You don't need to worry about that. So the Sabbath, is it actually in the book or not? So we're gonna find out exactly if it's in or not. So my next reading again is from Book of Psalms. Psalm 89, I will read verse 34. He said, My covenant will I not break, nor alter the things that is gone out of my lips. He said, My covenant, I'm not going to break it. The thing that I said, I'm not even going to annul it or disqualify it. Just the same thing that we have read earlier on. Everybody will be judged according to what is written. And now he is letting us know the thing that I have said I will do. Another example again, let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 66. I'll be reading from verse 22. It said, For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, said the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. He said, the new heaven and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, so shall your names remain. Verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Lord. So he's letting us know that in this new heaven and the new earth, everybody, every Sabbath day, or every living thing will come to worship the Father and the apostles. Everybody will be together every new day, every new moon, and every Sabbath. So from what we now are going and seeing what is written. So you don't let anybody deceive you. So we are going, like I said, according to what is written. We are not going off the script. We are on the script. Another example again, let's go to book of Ezekiel chapter 20. I'll be reading from verse 11. He said, And I gave them my statutes, and showed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. Moreover, verse 12. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths. This is plural. He said, Moreover, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they may know that I am the Lord that sanctified them. Verse 13. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walk not in my statutes, and despise my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. You see, people of God, who is right here? You see, my Sabbath is a sign between me and my people. He said they greatly polluted my Sabbath. they greatly polluted my Sabbath. Talking of that Sabbath again, and understand, what did he say when he say, I gave them my Sabbath? Let's go to the beginning. So let's fall back to the beginning. So from the beginning, let's go to Exodus. Exodus chapter 31. I'll be reading from verse 12. He said, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generation, that you may know that I am the Lord that doth sanctify you. He said here in verse 13, verily, very, very important, my Sabbath you shall keep. He said, it is a sign between me and you, that you may know. Because it is the Sabbath that separates those that worship God and those that worship whatsoever they worship. In Corinthians, he let us know that there is God's many and Lord many. But what we know is only one God. So what is that one God that we know? The God that created heaven and earth. And the one that created heaven and earth, he said on Genesis chapter 2, that he rested on the seventh day. That is his signature. That is his covenant. On the seventh day, he stopped. So he said, anybody that worship me will do the same and rest on the seventh day. That is what he said. He said, it is a sign between me. We have the same sign. We have the same agreement. So those that worship the God, the Creator, their sign is in the Sabbath. Those, you can even see it. Those that worship Sunday or worship whatsoever they worship, they call themselves New Testament. That is their thing. Remember earlier on when we read, my covenant will I not break. He said, I will not break my covenant. In Revelation, he said, everybody will be judged according to what is written in the book. So those that are worshiping on Sunday, go in the Bible. There is no anything keeping Sunday holy or first day of the week. It cannot be found here. It cannot be found here. Christmas cannot be found here. Easter, it cannot be found here. Ash Wednesday, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Saints Day, Independence Day, Children's Day, whatsoever day you call it, cannot be found here. That is why he said in the book of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, many shall say unto me that day, Lord, 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 have we not prophesied in your name, and in your name do wonderful work? You are doing it all in vain, because it cannot be found in the book. Back to what I'm saying. The Sabbath is a sign between those that worship the God, the Creator, and those that worship whatsoever they choose to worship. It is your choice. God that created heaven and earth is not a tyrant. He gave people choices. You make your choice. It's not by force. And he gave you time to, that's your choice, to really think it deep if it's actually you're making the right choice. And that choice is as well, this time you're hearing this message, is as well bringing to you, presented to you. This is your choice. Have you thought it through? Is it the right choice? Any choice you are making, you are making it with your eternity. Eternity does not have end. Eternity, and there is no end to eternity. So I'll continue my reading. Verse 14 said, that is Exodus chapter 31. I'm now in verse 14. He said, you shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. The Sabbath is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it surely shall be put to death. For whosoever doth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off among his people. He said, whosoever do any work on the Sabbath day, that soul will be cut off from his people. There is exception when it comes to Sabbath. We are going to read it at the course of this lesson, but just pay attention. When we get to that stage, there is exception on the Sabbath. Verse 15 said, 6 days may work be done, but in the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord of rest, holy to the Lord. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generation for a perpetual covenant. Verse 17, it is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in the 6th day the Lord made heaven and earth, and the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. So he's letting us know the Sabbath is forever. He said, I made heaven and earth on 6 days. On the 7th day I stopped. Because of that, you do the same thing I do. What I do, it is what I want you to do. This is the saying, and this is what he meant. He meant what he said. Another example again, let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 30, I'm reading from verse 5. He said, for every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Verse 6. Add thou not unto his word, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. He said, every word of God is pure, and he is a shield to them that seek him. Verse 6, he said, add not unto his word. Don't add to his word. Those that are saying, we are New Testament Christian, you are adding to his word. Those that say, we have replaced the people he made a covenant, the Hebrews that he made a covenant with, you are adding to his word. Those things that I just mentioned cannot be found here in the book. Neither can it be found anywhere except in the lips of men. But we keep going. And now, what I said earlier on regarding exception of the Sabbath, let's go to the book of Matthew. Matthew chapter 12. I'll be reading from verse 1. He said, at that time Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hunger, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. So what happened here? They've been preaching all day, and the disciples were hungry. They saw corn. Remember, he said in Leviticus that you shall live when you are harvesting your crops or whatever. You shall leave the glean of your crops for the poor, and for the fatherless and motherless, and for the strangers. It is a law that don't take everything out of your vineyard. So on this case, these disciples, they went through the corn and they start plugging the corns and they were eating, because why? They are hungry. They have been on a long journey. They are hungry. So as they were doing it, on the Saturday, don't you eat? Those Pharisees that are saying this, Don't they eat on the Sabbath days? Of course, they do eat. But let's hear what Jesus said to them. Verse 3. But he said unto them, have you not read what David did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him? So Jesus asked them, have you not heard what David did? That is when he was running from Saul. Verse 4. How he entered into the house of God, and did eat of the shewbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. Verse 5. Or have you not read in the law how on the Sabbath days the priests on the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless? So now let's digest these two instances that he gave them. Remember what brought this discussion: breaking of the Sabbath. Jesus gave them exemption in breaking of the Sabbath. First of all, David was hungry, and those that were with him, he ran to the temple, the shewbread that is only meant for the priests. David ate it, and those that were with him as well ate it. Jesus Christ let us know that these people are in need, they are hungry, and they ate it. And then on the other side, on the Sabbath day, the prophets are the apostles, Aaron's and sons of Aaron, or sons of Levites. On the Sabbath day, they kill goats for sacrifice, and they burn the goats. It is classified as work. But he said they are not to blame for it. They are not breaking the Sabbath. How does that imply to them? On the Sabbath day, yes, you may be going to see somebody in need. You have to help the person. For instance, I'll be going to gathering on Sabbath, and my car breaks down. I have to repair my car. Sometimes it's a flat tire. I have to do something with my car in order to continue. You're not profaning the Sabbath. So these are exemptions that are allowed on the Sabbath days. But we cannot just say, for instance, I'm self-employed. On the Sabbath day, I cannot, because I'm free, go to work. I have to take a day off. I'm my own boss. I must take a day off to keep the Sabbath, that 24-hour cycle. I must stay out of work. I will not intentionally take a pay on that day. So there's many exemptions that one can break the Sabbath and is blameless. But we will continue. Verse 7 says, but I say unto you that in this place one is greater than the temple, that is him, Jesus. But if you had known what this meant, I would have mercy and not sacrifice, you would have not condemned the guiltless. So Jesus Christ is giving them exemption now. He's saying that if actually they know what they are doing, they will not be condemning the guiltless. Verse 8 says, for the Son of Man is the Lord even of the Sabbath. And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue, and behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And when they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. I need to repeat this again, please. So, after he did the one that happened, and after the apostles were plugging corns and eating the corns, and the Pharisees were mad about that. So the next chapter that happened, they left that place, and he said they departed thence and went into the synagogue. After that happened on the road, then they come to the synagogue. They come straight to the church. That event happened on the road, on the street, in the farm. So now, as they come into inside the church, verse 10, and behold, there was a man which had a hand withered, and they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. So these are the same Pharisees that were accusing the disciples earlier on. Now they meet him in the temple, asking, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath day? To heal somebody, to cure a disease on the Sabbath day. Verse 11. And he said unto them, what man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fell into a deep on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it and lift it up? So Jesus now fling the question to them. You Pharisees, which of you, because then the trading was on sheep and goats and livestock. He explained to them, which of you, when your sheep fell on the ditch on the Sabbath day, would you go and bring it out? This is what they do. Verse 12. How much more then is a man better than sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath day. Then said he to the man, stretch forth thy hand. And he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole, like as the other. So, what's going on here? People want to accuse him for breaking the Sabbath without any concrete or something reasonable. Or is he actually breaking the Sabbath? He's not breaking the Sabbath. This is the thing that somebody have one day sent me this quote that saying that Jesus broke the Sabbath, that he was healing. After this little reading, you will find that now that person asking me a question does not actually keep the Sabbath. He or she is looking for excuse to keep breaking the Sabbath. That is mindset of the Pharisees. He or she is looking for a way out to give an excuse. So the same thing these Pharisees were doing, accusing him for curing somebody on the Sabbath day, feeding people on the Sabbath day. That is what he's letting us know. It is good. Do that which is good on the Sabbath days. Doing good is actually doing good. Doing good, there's another angle to it. You cannot just say because today is Sabbath, then you go and buy food and go to street and start sharing food to people. On the Sabbath day, you're supposed to be on the gathering. You see, so you cannot just because you're doing good and doing it wrong. You see, your focus on that day should be go and gather and don't go to the gathering and fellowship with people. But on your way going to the gathering, something unexpected may happen. You attend to it. There's nothing wrong. Attending to it may be that you are breaking the Sabbath. There's nothing wrong. Breaking the Sabbath life. On the Sabbath day, you are sick. On most occasions on the Sabbath day, my children has been sick. I have to rush them to hospital. And I didn't go to this gathering. There are many, many, many instances. You see? Another example again, let's go to the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 13. I'll be reading from verse 15. He said, in those days saw I in Judah some treading winepress on the Sabbath, and bringing in sheaves, and leading asses, as also wine, wine grapes and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testify against them in that day, wherein they sold victuals. So these individuals, they were selling victuals, items on the Sabbath day. So that is what Nehemiah is narrating to us. Verse 16. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath day unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, What evil things is this that you do, and profane the Sabbath day? Verse 18. Did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us, and upon this city? Yet you bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath. So, Nehemiah as a prophet understand the thing that happened to his people. So while all these things were happening, he saw people selling things to the children of Judah on the Sabbath day. So Nehemiah was like, he started warning those people, stop doing this. He went to the elders. See, can't you people see that we are in this mess because we profane the Sabbath? That people are bringing something to sell to us on the Sabbath days. Verse 19 says, And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, you see what you said? It came to pass when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark. That is from Friday evening. From Friday evening. Began to be dark before the Sabbath. I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gate, that there shall be no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day. So, Nehemiah have to take this upon himself. He command his people. See, when it begins to be Friday evening, he command them to shut the gate, close it, nobody coming in here. That was what he did. Verse 20. So the merchants and sellers of all kinds of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. See, after he commanded them that they should not be coming inside the city, then these people started hanging around, still selling their things, still doing their things, profaning the Sabbath. So the children of Judah coming to die from them. What happened next? Verse 21. Then I testify against them, and say unto them, Why lodge you about the wall? If you do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth, come they no more on the Sabbath. So, after the people were hanging around the cities, so Nehemiah said, see, if you hang around here on the Sabbath days, we're gonna deal with each other. We're going to fight. So when you hear of all these disciples or prophets, don't think that they are just like a gentle kind of people, gentle, very kind. They are not. These are mean men. They are mean men, ready to fight. They are not gentle. He said to them, if I see you here, we're going to show each other's power. It's either your teeth are jumping up or my own teeth is jumping down. Someone will be busy picking his or her teeth or jumping up, catching up his teeth that haven't get to the floor yet. Or some of your friends might help you picking those teeth. It's not a joke. Another example again, let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 56. I'm reading from verse 1. It said, Thus said the Lord, keep your judgments and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Verse 2. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that lay hold on it, that keep the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. He's saying, blessed is the man that does not pollute the Sabbath, or does not do any evil on the Sabbath days. Because there's another example again. Some people may have evil mind. Today is Sabbath, I'm not going to go to work. Let me call my girlfriend to come and sleep with me. You're in your house having pleasure. And then you call it that you're keeping Sabbath. Some people may as well do evil. They be doing evil, saying that they are doing good. So these are all these examples you have to. Because how do you keep the Sabbath? You go to the book and read what the Bible says you should be doing on the Sabbath. You don't go and start creating your own doctrine, saying you are keeping the Sabbath. You go to the Sabbath, the laws of the Sabbath, and do the things of the Sabbath. The laws of the Sabbath is nothing but the 10 Commandments. Love your neighbor. Every good thing that you will do, you do it. The only addition is of the Sabbath is on that very day you don't work, you don't sell, you congregate. If you have somewhere to congregate, but if you don't have no place, because initially when I come to this church on the Sabbath days, it took almost a very long time. The city that I live, there is nowhere I see people that celebrate Sabbath, keep Sabbath. I stay at my home. I read book. It took a long time before I see a gathering as I start gathering with. So what am I saying in essence? If you don't have any place to gather, on the Sabbath day, you stay at your home. Read your Bible. Don't go buying something or selling something. But let's continue. Verse 3. That is Isaiah chapter 56, and now in verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that had joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, The Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the Enoch say, Behold, I am a dry tree. What is he saying? Let not the strangers, those that are not Hebrews, they are the strangers, other nations. Oh, don't say that the Lord have separated me from his people. Don't say that this Sabbath it does not concern me. Just like what this modern Christian are saying. Because they read in Exodus when the Lord said the children of Israel should keep the Sabbath. Now they try to make up something to make themselves feel along. That is making up doctrine and worshiping other gods. But the God of the Hebrews is telling everybody, let not a stranger separate himself from my people. He's telling the strangers to come and do the things that my people are doing. That is what we are reading in the book. What verse am I? Verse 4 say, For thus said the Lord unto the Enoch that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Who are the Enoch? The strangers that are not Hebrews. He said those that keep my Sabbath and do the things that please me. What are the things that please him? His 10 commandments, his laws, his judgments, and his statutes. Verse 5 says, Even unto them will I give in my house, and within my walls a place and a name better than son and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also the sons of the strangers that join themselves to the Lord, to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servant, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and take hold of my covenant. Verse 7. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayers. Their burnt offering and their sacrifice shall be accepted upon my altar, for my house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. My house shall be an house of prayer for everybody. For everybody that keep the Sabbath and everybody that do the things that please him. That is what is written in the book, and that is what is in the book. Another example again, let's go to book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 17, I'm reading from verse 19. He said, Thus said the Lord unto me, Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah come in, and by the which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem, and say unto them, Hear you the word of the Lord, you kings of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates. So what is he saying in essence? Go and warn my people and let them know. Verse 21. Thus said the Lord, Take heed to yourself, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Neither carry forth burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do you any work, but hallow you the Sabbath day, as I commanded your fathers. The same thing. Go and tell them, don't bring a burden on the Sabbath day, and don't do work on the Sabbath day. It have not changed. Verse 23. But they obey not, neither incline their ears, but they made their necks stiff, that they might not hear, nor receive instruction. And it shall come to pass, if you diligently hearken unto me, said the Lord, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but hallow the Sabbath day, to do no work therein. Then shall there enter into the gates of this city kings and princes, sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and in horses, they and their princes, the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city shall remain forever. Verse 26. And they shall come from the cities of Judah, and from the places about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the south, bringing in burnt offering and sacrifice, and meat offering, and incense, and bring in sacrifice of praise unto the house of the Lord. Verse 27. But if you will not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then will I kindle a fire in the gate thereof, and it shall devour the palace of Jerusalem, and she shall not be quenched. This is what the Lord warned the children of Judah and the inhabitants. Who are the inhabitants? The strangers. These are warning that the Lord said he do, because people will say that these are Old Testament. Now we are now New Testament. Let's go to New Testament. Okay. First of all, I will read 1 John chapter 2. I'll be reading from verse 4. It says, He that say I know him, and keep not his commandment, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. He said, Whosoever say I know him, and keep not his commandment, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. What is the commandment? The 10 Commandments. And the 10 Commandments, the Sabbath is there. In book of James, it said to us, Whosoever break one of these commandments is guilty of all. You may say, I am the Lord your God, have no other God. You're not having any other God, good and fine. You're not taking the name of the God in vain. Good and fine. Honor your mother and your father. Good and fine. Love your neighbor as yourself. Good and fine. Don't take that which belongs to your neighbor. Good and fine. Don't steal. Good and fine. Are you keeping the Sabbath? If you break one, you are guilty of all. So if you are doing all that and breaking the Sabbath, you are guilty of all. So this is exactly what we are reading here. The Sabbath is in the Ten Commandments. Whosoever say, I know him and keep not his commandment is guilty of all. Upon all those 10 commandments, it is only the Sabbath that have a signature. Don't take my name in vain. There is no signature on it. I am the Lord your God. Have no other God before me. There is no signature on it. It is only the Sabbath that have, it is a sign between me and you. That is to show you that it is only the Sabbath that have the covenant of salvation. But we will continue. Still in 1 John chapter 2 and now in verse 3. But whosoever keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we know him. He that say he abide in him ought himself also to walk even as he walked. Whosoever say that he abide in Jesus, look to do the things that Jesus do. Jesus kept the Sabbath. Go to John, Luke chapter 4, verse 16. It will let you know that as his custom was, he went on to the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up to read. Jump to verse 31 of it. He said, he taught them in companion every Sabbath days. Every Sabbath day he go and preach. That is what Jesus did. So that's the same thing he's telling you. You have to do exactly what he did. He said, as I overcome, if you overcome. So he has done his part and overcame, and now sitting in with the Father. So we as well have to go through the struggle and overcome. But let's continue. Verse 7 of John chapter 1 John chapter 2. Verse 7 said, Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which you have from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which you have heard from the beginning. So it's letting us know that that old commandment that you have heard from the beginning is still the same. It's saying here that I have not written to you any new commandment. He's saying that the one you have from the beginning is still the same. I have not changed the old commandment. You see? So, people of God, the commandments have not changed. The commandments remain what it is. Nothing have changed from the commandments. Nothing have changed. So he said that we have to labor, do, struggle to enter in. So people of God, I will end this lesson here. Until next time, when we will embark on the next topic, remember, you must keep the Sabbath. Observe the Sabbath. The Sabbath is the signature of salvation. You have to observe the Sabbath the way the Sabbath is written, just like what Jesus was telling the Samaritan woman. A time come when those that worship him will worship him in spirit and in truth. What is the spirit? John chapter 6 verse 62. The word I speak to you is spirit. It is the written word, is the spirit. What is the truth? John chapter 17 verse 17. They that worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Your word is truth. Your word is truth. The written word is the truth. So when they say those that worship him in spirit and in truth, that's to say those that worship him the way it is written, according to the way it is documented in the Bible. They are they that worship him in spirit and in truth, not worshiping in something in your mind, worshiping according to documented, written words. So, people of God, I leave you here. Till next time, I still remain your brother Onyakachi. Bye bye.